So I wonder, are you ready for some unindoctrination? Well, ready or not, here it comes. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, straight out of the heartland, coming to you in the spirit of 1776 with a rebel yell, whether the tyrants are 4,000 miles away, 400 miles away, or 4 miles away, or right in your neighborhood. The same blood of patriots, the same blood that hates tyrants runs through our veins, and we've said no more. We've drawn the line in the sand, and may your divinity help you if you push it any further. Nice to see you here tonight. I have to be honest with you. Now, I'm always honest with you, but now I'm going to be extra honest with you if there's such a thing. But I wasn't going to do a show tonight. I'm in day 8 of a fast, feeling a little, not quite, but it's weird because I was awake till 3 a.m. last night because I felt so energetic and still got up before 9. And it's hard to explain, but I just felt kind of, maybe not a show tonight. But then we're sitting there and our great president comes on, and I said, oh, this has to be a recording. He's got to face Sleepy Joe tomorrow, and maybe the most important presidential date of all time. And there's no way he's in Minnesota tonight. And our great president, 74 years old, whatever he is, he's in Wisconsin the day before the debate. And he is out there doing what he has to do to make sure that we continue to keep America great. So I could not let down the people. Our great president said, if he's 74 and doing what he's doing, well, I can get on here and do what I'm doing. And we've got an important message to share as well. Tonight, we're going to talk to you about the reactive mind. I know I don't always do this, but I saw some interesting stuff here. Jama and Cassie and Brandon, Mr. Ackelwill, Tracy, somebody named Christina was here, but she's not anymore. And I see there's people from Australia here. Jay Archua's catching a video. So nice that you're here with us. We got people in Indiana. We've got people from all over the place. And we've even got the real Grandmaster Sexy. I was going to use that name, but I didn't. And anyway, nice to have you all here. Amy's here. Christina's here. Choity Doinks. I was not going to use that name. G.I. Wonder's here. Lauren's here. Nice to see all of you. Candy Girl. NYS. I think that might mean New York City. I don't know if that's true or not, but Sarasota, my old stomping grounds, is in the house. Cynthia is really in the house. We got Ken from C60 Purple Power. And Ken, we got a show coming up real soon. Let me look at the schedule. We got a good week this week as far as guests go. Let me look at this. I'll give you the update and we'll get right into where is it under? It's under the calendar. Well, we'll get right into our stuff. I think we got Ken coming up, don't we? Have we not scheduled it for a specific time, Ken? Because I got today's Monday. Tomorrow is the debate. We're not going to do anything tomorrow night. On Wednesday, Billy Zig, author of The Elusive Curve, at noon. That night, 8 p.m., Taboo Conspiracy. On Thursday, the 1st at 8 p.m., we're going to have Nigel Worsley with an Inside China update. And then on Saturday, I'm with Rose 777 and another gentleman whose name escapes me right now over on their channel. So we got a lot going on. And we got a lot going on right here tonight. Ken, I thought we were scheduled. Did I forget to put it on the schedule? And if I did, we can bump one of those other ones. Just shoot me an email and let me know. But Ken's going to be on to talk with us really, really soon, and we're looking forward to that. He says, no, yet we didn't nail it down. Jan Simpson is in my hometown of Clearwater. Tom's in Key West. Man, we got people all over the country, and we got Florida very, very well represented. Part of me wishes I was there. Part of me is glad I'm gone. I mean, it seems like the state is just going crazy with all of the stupidity. But then again, they opened everything up today. The bars are open, or he announced it anyway. West Virginia, we got a lot of people. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we're going to take a look at tonight. And this is a subject that I love to talk about because it's very, very powerful, and it sets so many people free. Stormy Weather is in the house. It's always nice to see her. And of course, there's Jesus Wizard Spatula. What's a show without Jesus Wizard Spatula and Grandmaster Sexy in the house at the same time? That's great. That's great. Brandon's in St. Pete, it looks like, getting ready to kick out some Antifa. That sounds good to me. The Reactive Mind, helping you create yourself with white Dianetics. Let's jump right into it, folks, as this is going to be powerful. Open your mind, and if you have a strong cognitive dissonance reaction, try to get past it. Try to just listen, eat the meat, throw out the bones, do what you want to do. Folks, I want to talk to you about the reactive mind. Matthew's in northern Indiana, but we also want to talk to you about things called engrams. What is an engram? No, that's not the lady with the radio show. The reactive mind does not store memories as we think of them. We talked about what the reactive mind was on our last podcast on this subject. It's on the channel. It's even a playlist. So the reactive mind does not store memories as we think of and memories as we understand. It stores engrams. So what's different? An engram is a complete recording down to the last accurate detail of every perception that's present in a moment of partial or full unconsciousness. Well, Jeff, what do you mean by partial unconsciousness? You've heard of stage hypnotism. That's kind of a thing like that, a partial unconsciousness. Most of you have been whacked on the head and have been a victim of full unconsciousness, so you can understand that. Now, this detail, this recording is just as accurate as any other recording in the mind, because remember, because I've said this to you before, remember, from the time that you have had a mind, every single sensory input that you have ever received, every single sensory input that you've ever been exposed to is stored in your mind. Now, it sounds like it should be easy to recall them all and deal with them all, but the problem is, as we've talked about before, you've got an analytical mind, and that's your thinking mind, your reasoning mind, your rational mind, and then you've got this reactive mind. And when you come under great stress or unconsciousness, and the great stress can cause partial unconsciousness, then you slip out of your analytical mind. It gets turned off like a fuse because they don't want to blow it. You only got one mind, and remember, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. If you blow up your brain, you only got one, so the fuses are there. You don't want to blow out the whole system. But then the reactive mind picks up. And the problem is that you've got gaps in your analytical mind that are caused by unconsciousness, but your reactive mind was recording during that time, and your reactive mind jumps up into those gaps, and it's like the alien. It wants to seek, kill, and destroy. It's fight or flight. So it has its own force, and it's negative force. It's like powerful force. It's fight or flight. It's ready to get the hell out of here. And they are highly detailed digital holographic recordings. And Ken was talking with us the last time we were together, and we talked about how TV, movies, video games are now digital, of course, and in digital imagery, in that regard, you're able to put in subliminal suggestions that will go right past your analytical mind and into your subconscious mind, which would be your reactive mind. And if they're able to manipulate that mechanically, if you will, digitally, then it's the same type of an understanding of how an engram goes into your reactive mind, but it's going in because your reactive mind is shut down at that time. So they have their own force, and they're highly detailed digital holographic recordings, and it's like you're in the scene. and they contain all the perceptions of sight, everything that you see. Foreground, background, around you, up, down, 360 degrees. And they have every sound, car driving by on the street, cat meowing in the background, the sound of the pool hall, the sound of Sleepy Joe snoring, all of those things will be there. Rain on the roof, it's all there. Smells, every smell, good, bad, indifferent. Every taste, every organic sensation, all of it in excruciating, exacting detail down to the very smallest minutia, if you will. Minutia is little bitty, teeny tiny stuff down to the nth degree. And they're not just memories. There's a big difference between an engram and a memory, ladies and gentlemen. There's a big difference between an engram and a memory. Whoops, sorry about that. I'm trying to do two things at once, and I got myself off of track, but hey, we're right back on. There's a difference between an engram and a memory, and it's a distinct difference. An engram can be permanently fused into any and all body circuits, and it behaves like an entity. I think we talked about this last time. It actually behaves like an entity. And one of the great ways to help you get these engrams, these entities out of your mind is to use C60 Purple Power. I'm serious, because it helps you drop the heavy metals out of your mind, which helps you think more clearly and will help you when you're undergoing the white Dianetic therapy, either self-administered or administered by another person. It'll help you locate those engrams more easily and discharge those engrams more easily. And if you're not doing that, it will still help you from the cellular level. It goes in and helps your mitochondria. It has to do with the oxidization, the good stuff. It is amazing on the cellular level. And if you can be running on all cylinders on the cellular level, imagine how that goes out to your entire macro level. So go to c60purplepower.com, use the code TCW10. There's a discount built right in, or just go to jeffreydaugherty.com and click on the logo, and then your discount's already built right in. And it's great stuff. Cliff High says it's why he and his wife are still alive. And if you don't like me talking about my sponsors, stop watching the channel. It's just that simple, because these are products that change lives, and this is information that change is live. So they behave like an entity, ladies and gentlemen. They behave like an entity. So things that people think are demons, they're not demons. They're engrams. But Jeff, I can hear it talking to me. Yeah, I know. It's not an entity. It's an engram. But Jeff, it makes me do. I know. It's not an entity. It's an engram. Well, Jeff, how do you know? Because I've been doing this for 40 years plus. That's how I know. I've cast out more demons than you've ever heard of. Literally, 20 years, Pentecostal evangelist, brow sweat, boom, be gone. I'm telling you, I've made witch doctors fall from 6 feet. I've prayed for people and watched eyeballs grow in empty eye sockets. Come on, man. They're not entities. They're engrams. And they possess the inexhaustible sources of power to command the body. No matter how many times a engram is reactivated, why can't it be rephrased as a demon? Well, because number one, that's not true. I like to be exacting in my language. The problem with people today is they don't like to be reactive. They don't like to be accurate in their language. Oh, Tracy, we're just going to hide that bitch right now. Real quick. Go ahead, fuck with me some more on my channel and see what happens. You won't be on this channel anymore. I am not playing. We're here to change people's lives, and you can like it or get the hell out, or we will get you the hell out. C60 Purple Power, changing our dog. It's unbelievable. But anyway, you have to understand, that's why I won't say the BLM, because when you say BLM, you're giving When you say out the sentence, you're giving power to that sentence. We talked about the word racist. I won't even say it anymore because it's not what it is. You can't say these things because you buy into and you give power and you give energy to these things. It's not an entity. It's not a demon because there are no demons. It's an entity. And no matter how many times one of these things gets reactivated in your body, the power of it does not diminish. In fact, the more times that it gets activated, it becomes even more powerful. The more times that an Ingram gets stimulated or activated, it becomes better. Oh, man, we are getting a lot of a-holes on the channel tonight. So it makes me excited because I know that we are doing what we're supposed to do. I know we're doing it the way we're supposed to do it. And I know we're making a lot of bitches mad tonight. And bitches get stitches. And if you've got an issue, go get a tissue. We're here to change lives, not to put up with you dumbasses. All right, I shouldn't have talked about them, but every now and then I need to. Did I mention I'm on the 8th day of a fast? And take a great cup of coffee, and it's actually 7, Ryan, but I know where you're going. I know what you're going. Hey, Yonka, I'm gonna call you. I got your email. I'm gonna call our other compadre. We'll get that worked out for next week. So these things, you think they're demons, they're not. The more they act up, the more strength they get. Now, this is going to be powerful. Stay with me. And I apologize for getting into that, but hey, every now and then I get sick of the bullies. Here's an example of an Ingram. A woman gets knocked down by a blow. It could be a man, but a woman gets knocked down by a blow. Yes, Lionel. And it renders her unconscious. She then gets kicked while she's unconscious. And, you know, I feel like I want to make light of this, but, you know, they say you should never kick a man while he's down. That's the best time to kick a man. He's down. He's right there by your foot. When would be a better time to kick a man than when he's down? You see how I change it to man? Because, you know, we're not ever going to kick women unless there's like 10 of them and they're butch lesbians and they got chains. Well, then I might kick one of them. But anyway, I'm sorry. A woman gets knocked down by a blow, renders her unconscious. She then gets kicked and told that she's a faker. She's no good. And she's always changing her mind. While this is going on, Unc is with me. A chair gets knocked over in the process. The faucet is dripping or running in the kitchen. A car passes by, honks its horn, beep, beep, beep. The Ingram that's created will contain an exact running record of all of these perceptions, all the sights, all the sounds, all the tactile, that means touch, all the taste, you know what that is, all the smell, all of the sensations, the feelings, the breezes, all of that, all of the kinetic sense, the energetic sense, the joint position, like this, like that, like this, like this, like this, like this, whatever. It's all there. Thirst and on in exciting, exacting, not exciting, but in exacting detail, ladies and gentlemen. That's what an Ingram is. Now, the Ingram would consist of the whole statement made to her while she was unconscious. So the Ingram would actually be, when the Ingram gets reactivated, she would hear, "You're a faker. You're no good. You're always changing your mind." That's what the Ingram would be. You're a faker. You're no good. You're always changing your mind. That's what the Ingram would be specifically. But there's much more to it. The voice tones. Was it a deep voice? Was it a high voice? Was it a man voice? Was it a girl voice? And not just the voice of the person saying, I forget what they said, you're a faker, you're no good, you're always changing your mind. But maybe there's a baby in the background, and you would hear not only the command, the voice tones, and the words of the primary speaker, but you would hear the baby cry. You would hear the beep, beep, beep of the car. You'd hear the dripping or running of the faucet. You'd hear the television. You'd hear the ceiling fan. You'd hear the ridiculous, foolish comments from trolls. If you could hear them, you would hear them because it's all there. That's the sound of the chair falling over, the sound of the chair moving on the ground. It would all be there. The feel of the floor, the feel of the blows and the later blows, the kick. I won't go there again, I promise. The emotion in the voice, the sound of the car, the sensation of the blow, the taste of blood in your mouth if it were there. Every other taste that was there, all of the smells that were there, it's all there in that Ingram. And physical pain and painful emotions are the difference between an Ingram, the cause of all aberrations, and a memory. Because typically a memory, it might make you remember something that was bad, but it doesn't actually give you a physical sensation. A woman like this that got that situation, if she fell on her elbow, she will literally get pain in her elbow, in her ribs, all of that. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but so what's that mean, Jeff? It means that this woman could be CEO in the corner office, right? Large and in charge. And all of a sudden, she hears a car go beep, 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 and she's on the floor, under a desk, in the fetal position, crying, holding her elbow, holding her side, completely re-stimulated. Yeah, bro, real, true. And of course, all of the different and various levels in between. Or a man speaks to her. If I had been the one who'd done it, which I never would, but if a man speaks to her and it has a deep tone, voice tone like mine, she's automatic. He could be the most wonderful, sweet, kind, caring man. He could be treating her like the queen that she is. He could be the perfect man for her. But she won't be able to stay with him because the tone of his voice is like that Ingram tone, and she gets scared away from him, literally. That's what an Ingram is. That's how important this is. That's why I got emotional with the dumbasses that were interrupting our program. Thank the baby Jesus for good coffee. It's a little joke. So back when we lived in a fight or flight world, when we lived on the land, we lived in the jungle, we lived in the trees, we lived in some teepees, we lived in some adobes, we lived in some yurts, we lived in some caves. Some of you lazy people just lived on the ground. Surrounded by hostile elements, it's snowing, it's blowing, it's lightning, it's rain. Surrounded by animals and enemies. Back then, maybe an Ingram would do you some good. Because if you're laying on the ground and that wolf bit me in the ass, Ingram hit you, and you get up and boom, and you're gone before the next wolf catches you, or if you're in a cardboard box, that could be helpful to you. That could be helpful to you. There is a playlist. It's called Create Yourself. Gary lived in a tree. Doesn't surprise me, Gary. Don't know why. It's like my dog, Barkley. Almost 100-pound German Shepherd. Wonderful dog. Unless you don't know her, then she's mean as hell, and she's supposed to be. But she'll be laying there sleeping, like dead asleep. And I'm going to tell her myself. One day I saw her. This is terrible, but yet I still laugh because I'm a terrible person. I saw her laying, I don't know, maybe 25 yards from me, laying there. She was in the sun. I knew she was dead out of sleep. And I had just cleaned something up off the counter. So I had this damp, not soaking wet, but damp and nice and dense. 2 paper towels wadded up. So I wadded, stiffened them up, got them in a nice little ball. And I wasn't, trying to hurt her. I didn't like fire it at her. I just kind of tossed it. Well, the nice arc, nice arc. She's laying there asleep. And that paper towel, it's just paper towel. It hits her in her side, thunk. And almost faster than I could see. Well, not faster than I could see, because she jumps up and she's on a wood floor. So she's, doing the Scooby-Doo thing, all this scratch, but she's not going anywhere. And she finally gets some traction and boom, she's gone. I don't know what it was, but that's an Ingram. It's a cool example of an Ingram. She didn't think about it. It just, boom, it hit. And off she went. Now, these days, we don't deal with those things unless you're Barkley and you got an asshole like me for an owner. But now, these Ingrams just make us crazy. They just make us inefficient, and they just make us ill. And ladies and gentlemen, the proof is in the proverbial pudding. When the reactive mind, and I know this because I've done it for multiple people, when the reactive mind banks get cleared, that aberrated person is all of a sudden winning. And these Ingrams will not only keep you from surviving, but they will keep you from thriving. And we're not supposed to be, survive is the basic dynamic, but we're better than that. We're not just here to survive, we're here to thrive. But some people need to know, you might, Stormy, and the good thing about Ingrams, and this is a little bit ahead of where we are, but I think Stormy needs a little pat on the head. It's going to be all right, unless that simulates an Ingram, then I wouldn't do it. But the cool thing about it, Stormy, and everybody else that's asking this question, Lionel just hit it. He said there's chains, and he's right. He took it out, but they are chains. And what that means is, most times, if you know what you're doing, if you're good at it, and I'm good at it, I will, first of all, go for a very, very, the first Ingram that you ever got, usually in the womb or sometimes before that in another lifetime, it's called basic. But I'll go for the oldest one I can get to, and I'll go for as old as I can get. I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that's wrong. I need to keep reading. But the funny thing that happens is, Stormy, when you get one Ingram and you clear that Ingram, it usually, almost invariably, will pop a whole chain of Ingrams off. So the good news is you don't have to go through every single one of them one by one by one. I want to give you a little help right now, Stormy, because I know you're open to it. You just said, I need to fix my tendency to screw up every relationship I ever have. I do the same stupid crap even though I say I won't. Right there is part of your challenge. And here's the challenge. Because when you say, and I can hear you saying it, why do I screw up every relationship I ever have? You put your brain to work. And this is exactly on topic. Thank you for being brave enough to bring this out. It's exactly on topic. Why do I screw up every relationship I ever have? Why do I do the same stupid crap even though I say I won't? Your brain's a computer. And it's the best, most powerful, most efficient, most dynamic computer ever created. And when you ask your brain, why do I screw up every relationship I ever have? Your brain goes to work. It's like Elf on the Shelf. It's like the little baby plastic Jesus. It sees you when you're sleeping. It knows when you're awake. It knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. It's making a list. It's checking it twice. It's going to start telling you all of the reasons why. It's going to answer the question you asked. So your brain will give you every single reason why you screw up every relationship that you have, and it'll continually feed those to you because you asked for them. It doesn't know. It doesn't make value judgments. The boss said, tell me why I screw up every relationship I have. It tells you why. And when you hear those again, it just serves to underline, it starts to reinforce 8 days fasting. It serves to reinforce those reasons. Oh, that's why. Why do I do the same stupid crap even though I say I won't? There goes your brain. Making a list, checking it twice, printing it out in duplicate for you in case you missed it the first time. So Stormy, how about this? You know your brain, and it doesn't matter. Well, I don't really want it to answer. It doesn't matter. It doesn't know it answers. Well, I don't hear it answer. Well, it answers you even in your reactive mind, and then it bypasses your conscious mind. I know Stormy isn't saying that, but somebody else might. You're killing me, Dagger, because the Lightning's my favorite team. I had season tickets forever, and they went all BLM. I almost said it, so I'm refusing to watch. And now they're up 2-0, and this is if they win tonight, they win the cup. But anyway, how about this, Stormy? How about instead of asking, why do I screw up every relationship I've ever have? Why do I screw up every relationship I ever have? What if we asked, how can I stop screwing up every relationship I ever have? Ooh. Now your brain goes to work, giving you data you can use. How can I stop screwing up every relationship I ever have? Now here comes a list of data you can use, a list of data that's empowering. And instead of saying, why do I do the same stupid crap every time, even though I say I won't? How do I stop doing the same stupid crap every time, even though I say I won't? Now comes good data. Here's the key, Stormy, and this is for everybody. This is for all of us. The quality of your life depends upon the quality of the action. Strike that. You didn't hear that. The quality of your life depends upon the quality of the questions you ask yourself. Your tongue's either a building block or a wrecking ball for the life you want to live. And when you catch yourself doing it, say, I cancel the power of those words, and then say the right question. If Stormy finds herself saying, why do I screw up every relationship I ever have? I would say slap yourself in the face, but don't do that. I used to do it. A little bit extreme, but no, I bind the power of those words. How can I stop screwing up every relationship I ever have? If you slip up, here's the problem. Stormy will slip up, and I don't know Stormy, but I feel like I do. Stormy will slip up and say, why do I do the same stupid crap every time why do I do the same stupid crap every time, even though I know I won't? And then you're like, oh, I'm not supposed to say that. I'm so stupid. And it just boom, 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 it builds, right? So and even if you do say I'm so stupid, I bind the power of all of those words. And how can I stop doing the same stupid crap every time, even though I say I won't? And how can I learn to better control the power of my words? Thank you, Stormy, for a great assist on the program. Now, some people need to know this. There's a lot of people that need to know that even though we're getting our Ingrams cleared, and even though we're getting cleared, and even though we're not on fight or flight anymore, some people need to know that we can still get in touch with our fight if we need to. The flight is broken, but the fight still works. Just a public service announcement. Now, there's 3 types of Ingrams. There's a contra survival Ingram. And before we get into that, let me remind you folks that if you want to help yourself learn, understand, thrive, and prosper, flourish and prosper, live your great basic purpose, ladies and gentlemen, Get focused life force energy in your life. They'll send a high consciousness field to your phone or to your home or to both, like Cynthia and I have it. We both have it on our phone. We both have it it's in the home. And it literally sends a high consciousness field to those places. And sometimes you need a little pick-me-up. That's what it's for. EMF mitigation, grounding, nutrient uptake of your drink and your food, a calming, soothing atmosphere, amazing effects on plants and animals. It's great stuff. Go to jeffreydaugherty.com, hit the fluffy logo, and you can have 30 days free. I say just get it. You will never, ever forget it. You'll never, ever regret it. You will forget it because it just becomes natural. So contra survival, that contains physical pain, painful emotion, all the other perceptions and menaces to you, the organism. When a child gets knocked out and abused, a person gets knocked out and abused, that's the type of Ingram that you receive. It's contra survival. But then there's a pro survival Ingram, and that doesn't seem to make sense. It doesn't seem to make sense. But Kelly Bell, I don't know how you say it. It should be Kelly Belly if it's not, because, I mean, look at that. Kelly, B-E-L-L-E. I'm not the only one that wants to say Kelly Belly. Kelly Bell, how do you get rid of it? That's what we're here for. That's what we're learning. That's what we're learning. Pro survival, a child who is abused, say the same child up here. And I put this in so you will remember the importance of this election on November 3rd. You can massage until you got no skin left. You can yoga your ass off, Laura, and you'll still have these. Those won't get rid of Ingrams. Yoga's great for you. Fantastic for you. Not going to get rid of Ingrams. Massage is amazing for you. Not going to get rid of Ingrams. Love massage, love yoga, love Laura. You know what I'm saying? Keep your children very, very close, especially until the election. And a child that is abused, knocked out and abused, gets these contra survival Ingrams. And then after that child is been abused, they're feeling bad, they're feeling sick, and then the abuser, while this child is in a sick, semi-conscious state, the abuser is telling them, oh, I love you. I'll take care of you. Think of how sick and demented and twisted that is. That's how this filth works, ladies and gentlemen. We knock them out. They see, I don't want to get there. They knock them out. They abuse them. Then as they're coming out of it, if you're not a doctor, please don't make medical recommendations in the chat room. Then the child comes out of unconsciousness still feeling bad, and they're there to, oh, we love you. We'll take care of you. And this creates what's called a pro-survival Ingram. It seems to be helpful to the person, but it's really not. And because of this, it's actually a more dangerous type of Ingram. Do you get me? I mean, the Ingram that says you're stupid, you're ugly, you always do everything wrong, you always make me hit you. That's a bad, there's no such thing as good Ingram. That's a tough Ingram. But the Ingram that says, oh, I love you, I care for you, I'll never leave you, which really means I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go. That might even be the Ingram. I'll never let you go. And when your abuser says that, and it's an Ingram in you, Lola is way ahead of me. It's taken as a pro-survival Ingram. It seems to be helpful, but because of this, it's the more dangerous because its connection to affinity makes it stronger and more durable. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, abusers act the way they do. Some of them are just really good at abusing, and they know these things. Some of them are just naturally good at abusing. They're not consciously doing it, but they do it because even subconsciously, they've recognized a pattern that they haven't recognized consciously of how powerful that it is. Do you understand what I'm saying? Someone told me a story. They were pregnant, coming back or just coming back from the doctor, finding out they were pregnant with it was the husband. I don't know if it was the husband then, but it was baby daddy driving and baby mama in the passenger seat. And baby mama said something baby daddy didn't like. And baby daddy popped her. She's pregnant. And I think he punched her, if I remember the story correct, punched her. Just found out this woman's pregnant and you punch her. And if all the details aren't true, doesn't matter. If I don't remember them correctly. Punches her. That's an Ingram, right? Because she knocked a little bit crazy, right? So that Ingram comes in. You're stupid. Why'd you do that? You're stupid. You never do the right thing. Can't you ever keep your mouth shut? Ingram. And then maybe, I don't know if this ever happened, but dummy pulls over and says, oh, and she's still a little bit cranky, still a little bit out of it, right? Oh, I'm so sorry. I love you. I'll never let you go. I'll never leave you. Pro survival. Tracy, boom. See, I love this freaking chat room. You people are so, it's by far the most elevated chat room on the internet because Tracy's exactly right. And nobody sees this. It's not just the woman, but the unborn child gets the same thing. Gets the same Ingrams. Wow. It's amazing. It's amazing. The third type is the painful emotion, which is caused by the shock of sudden loss, such as death of a loved one. We understand that. Caroline, you're going to have to go back and listen. The reactive mind is composed completely of these Ingrams. Remember what they are? Contra-survival, pro-survival, and painful emotion. That's the totality of the reactive mind. And the reactive mind is composed completely of those Ingrams, and it only thinks in those terms. And the analytical mind can understand that sometimes you get an apple and you might even bite into one and have a worm. Or you might just get an apple and you see a hole. Oh, shit, that's a worm. And smart person doesn't eat that apple. And when you're in your analytical mind, say you were 5 and you got an apple and you're like, oh, damn, that's got a hole in it. And you were a smart 5-year-old and you said, oh, you threw that one away and got you another one because you knew that meant there was a worm. Maybe you weren't the smartest 5-year-old or maybe you didn't see the hole or you saw the hole, but you didn't know. You took a bite and somebody says, oh, he found a worm in his apple. Worse, you found half a worm in your apple because you know where the other half is. Down the hatch, baby. You'll be checking out the next apple you see. Your analytical mind will say, oh, you know what? Every now and then when you get an apple, if it has a hole in it, it might have a worm, so choose a different apple. But the reactive mind sees an apple, worms! Does that not make perfect sense? That's how it works. That's how it works. Now, you can imagine how the woman in the abuse scenario feels towards men in her reactive mind. Same tone, chair falling, beep, 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 drip, drip, drip. Could be Prince Charming, and she's going to run from him. Stormy. How she can feel towards men in her reactive mind, and tragically, how even a victim of abuse can feel connection and empathy towards the repeated abuser. Why does she, how many times have we said it? She must be so stupid that she stays with him. Why would she be so stupid as to stay with him? We get back to the earliest thing we can, Stormy, and then we break and that'll break the chain. That's why they stay, because they're not in their right mind, literally. She must not be in her right mind. No, she's not. But if you would understand what's going on, instead of talking bad about her, help a sister out. That's what we're here for, to help sisters out. And brothers, and those that aren't sure. We'll help you too. Not sure if you're a sister or a brother, work with me. And I never understood that. I didn't understand this until I sat down. Being the professional I am, before I go on air with you, I will, Gary, not hypnotherapy at all, and I'll get back to that. Hypnotherapy, bad. We don't want hypnotherapy, because hypnotherapy, what does hypnotherapy do, Gary? Think about it. You know the answer. It puts you into an unconscious state, a semi-unconscious state. So hypnotherapy is Ingram production factory. You don't want to be out of your analytical mind. If you're unconscious or even semi-unconscious, boom. And Melissa, I think EFT is the greatest thing, the second best thing to white Dianetic therapy for Ingrams, but even EFT won't get rid of Ingrams. Trust me, I am Mr. EFT. I used to go to conferences, or, you go to those conferences and you see all the people, all the tables. I was Mr. EFT. I was doing the EFT, and EFT is amazing, but it won't get rid of Ingrams. It'll help, but it won't get rid of Ingrams. EFT will be great. Oh, I can't teach Stormy EFT right now, but I completely, totally love myself in spite of the fact that I keep asking myself stupid questions. That's made for EFT right there, baby. But that explains Stockholm Syndrome. I talk about Stockholm Syndrome all the time. But I'm like, why? How could somebody be so dumb to be Stockholm Syndrome, feeling compassion for their captor or their abuser? How could you possibly do that? It's an Ingram, dummy. And that's a perfect explanation. In the reactive mind, are you ready for this? I can't go a whole show without potentially pissing somebody off really, really bad. It's what I'm here for. It's my gift. It's my superpower. Pissing people off is my superpower, ladies and gentlemen. How am I doing? The reactive mind also explains people's irrational devotion. I say addiction. The reactive mind also explains people's irrational devotion, addiction to Christianity and prophecy and the teachers thereof. What did he just say? He just said that the reactive mind also explains people's irrational, addictive devotion to Christianity and prophecy and the teachers thereof. How does that work? Christianity and prophecy are Ingrams. Contra-survival Ingrams and pro-survival Ingrams, because Christian abusers are good at it. Quick review. Remember how it works? Contra-survival. You're stupid. You're ugly. Your mom dresses you funny, but I love you so much. I'll take care of you and learn you up and teach you how to dress. Contra-survival, pro-survival. Back to Christianity. And prophecy is Ingrams. All right. Remember, I was a preacher for 20 years. Pentecostal evangelist, red hot, blood bought, the whole 9 yards. So the emotionalism of Christian preaching, the graphic descriptions of the crucifixion, Mel Gibson, Passion of the Christ. The graphic description, I would preach it so graphically. The searing guilt of knowing that Jesus died because of your sins. The preaching of hell so hot that you can feel the flames licking your Converse on the floor. Oh, I would make you sweat. I would preach hell so hot. It puts you in a state of unconsciousness. It puts you in a state of unconsciousness, semi-consciousness. And what are you open for? Ingrams. And it's designed that way. It's not by accident. The worship service. I used to teach worship service. You know the reason why it worked? Sound like Joe Biden. Come on, I'm the guy. Hey, by the time I finish this program, 180 million people will die. Anyway, you come into the church, dancing. That's how you start off in worship that way. Then you move into, we'll sway a little bit of, that's called praise. Then you move into this kind of part, and then it's the speaking in tongues and crying, and because by the time you get to the speaking in tongues and crying part, the worship, and somebody's singing in the spirit, and it's all we love you, all and you know what I'm talking about. You're in a trance. You're semi-conscious. You're semi-conscious. This guy's more in control of his thoughts than you are at that point. And you're wide open for Ingrams. And here they come. You're a sinner. Repent, you sinners. Come to the altar, sinners. Your sins killed Jesus. You need salvation. Oh. Boom, boom, boom. Ingram. Right past your suspended analytical mind. Boom, right into your reactive mind. It's an Ingram. Christianity as Ingrams. Prophecy. You go to the prophecy seminar. Horrible tales of the horror of missing the rapture. If you miss the rapture, you wake up and all the cars are smashing. The cake batter thing's going and cake batters everywhere. The toast is burning in the toaster. The roast is burning in the oven. And you know you've missed the rapture. Oh, shit, I missed the rapture. The terror of the events of tribulation. You will now face the mark of the beast. They will chop off your head. You're going to face the trumps, the vials, the bowls. All this mental anguish becomes Ingram. Boom, right into your reactive mind. Because you're in a state of semi-consciousness. Get dagger. I went to Bible camp as a kid. They scared the shit out of me. Of course they did. And then, of course, when they got you really good and scared, you're down on the altar, scared. Oh. Then comes Jesus loves you so much. Jesus will take care of you. Jesus will never leave you nor forsake you. So not only do we got pro-survival Ingrams and good hard ones. That's for you, Cynthia. We got contra-survival Ingrams. Christianity, prophecy, classic recipe for Ingrams, ladies and gentlemen. Classic recipe for Ingrams. Christianity and prophecy are magnificent Ingram producers. And even when I get on this program and tens of thousands of people see me go through the script, you call it the scripture, I call it the script, word for word from the original language, showing you that it says that Paul said in 2 Thessalonians that Jesus' plastic ass done already come back. And you're still waiting for the second coming. He already come back. Oh, no. That Ingram will hop up. and block your ability in your analytical mind to understand and to get you to the place where you can't handle the truth. I think we're entitled to the truth. I do too. But you're going to have to get some white Dianetic therapy to get there. Christianity and prophecy are magnificent Ingram producers. Christianity and prophecy are amazing aberration factories. And the Christian ministers and the Christian gurus are aberrators. And likely very highly aberrated themselves. Well, Jeff, do they know what they're doing? I don't have to answer that question. I don't need to answer that question. I don't know. And frankly, I don't care because the result is the end is the same in the end. The result is the same in the end. Whether some of these idiots on YouTube, prophecy, 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 you're a sinner, you're a sinner, you're a sinner, but Jesus loves you. It doesn't matter if they know or not. Thank you, Tracy. Because they're producing the same Ingrams and the same aberration and the same pain and the same guilt and the same mind control and the same blood magic, whether they know or not. Whether they know or not. It's not my business to judge whether, and I can name a string of them, and you know who they are. Does he know what he's doing, or is he just deluded himself? Don't know, and now don't care. Does she know what she's doing? Most of them probably do. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It can't be any more plain. Now you get it. Why is it so hard for me to let go when I know I should? The goal here is to get you to the place where you can do self life track analysis / auditing. And if you don't or can't find it successfully, then I'll be offering the service as well. But knowing how powerful this is and knowing how therapeutic it is, if we can use that word, because that's not really therapy. Tracy Dyer with a gem. Don't ask why. Why am I so stupid? Why do I smell? Why can't I have a girlfriend? Don't ask why. Ask how to change. How can I stop stinking? The first is going to come back. Take a damn bath every day, twice if you need it. Put on some deodorant. Clip your nails, you know. As powerful as this is it any wonder? Oh, you've heard him talk about it. Lola, if you have any interest in being on that panel, please email me. Gotham, like Gotham, or Gotham like Batman LTD at Gmail. Why do they rail against white Dianetics and Scientology? Oh, you've heard it. Oh, did you hear about Jeff? Jeff is teaching Scientology. Jeff is teaching Dianetics. Jeff is teaching L. Ron Hubbard. Jeff is, is it any wonder that they rail against me? Is it any wonder that they rail against white Dianetics? Is it any wonder they rail against Scientology? Because we're bringing you the information that you can use to set yourself free from their fear and guilt, mind control, blood magic matrix. They're so against it because it sets people free, and not 50% of the time, which would be good. Not 75% of the time, which would be better. Not 95% of the time. But unless you've got unless you had half your brain blown out, and there's some people out there that have had some of their brain blown out. If your mental system is organically intact, it'll work 100% of the time. 100% of the time. That's why they're against me. That's why they're against this Brilliant. Brilliant. Spiritual technology, ladies and gentlemen. The reactive mind. Now you know. And you're learning how to create yourself with white Dianetics. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, bringing you the mail that everyone else wants to present. You know what? I'm bringing you the mail, and they're the ones throwing the mail out like a Trump vote ballot in the trash can because they don't want you to be free. Because when you get free, you stop paying them and you stop showing up and stroking their egos. All right. Into the chat room real quickly. We'll hit the highlights. Gary Baxter lived in a tree. But did you swing from limb to limb, Gary? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Eliza's talking about Ingrams and stuff. Melissa saw a squirrel and was chasing it. That's okay. We appreciate her just the same. Ingrams trigger physical reactions. Yes. Yes. Remember the lady CEO corner office? She hears a car, beep, beep, beep. All of a sudden, she's under her desk, fetal position, when there's the CEOs of 6 other companies, and she was this close to closing a deal for $1 billion. Not good. Not good. Not good. Might help fix my tendency. Oh, we already talked about that to Stormy. I love Stormy. She's great. Don't know her, but I can tell she's got a good heart. If you asked any of my exes, I won't. My ex-wife just called me and she stirred up an Ingram. Yep. Reframe your questions. Exactly. Little NLP language there from Tracy Dyer. Why do I always have money without working and being lazy? Don't mess with that one. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. That should be on a pink shirt with a unicorn, but it's true. It's true. It's true. Why is a bad question to ask? How is a much better one? How is a much better one? Don't ask why, ask how. Lola, right on cue. Mr. Ackwell says this is serious. It really is. Eliza says I got the wrecking ball tongue. Then change it. Change it. How can I change my wrecking ball tongue? Just that simple. Just that simple. Why is it a valid question that makes you an invalid? A little play on words there. Stormy needs to know how to fix this. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. That's what you're here for. These important messages almost need to be uploads and not lives. Yeah, sometimes because you get all of this stuff going on, but that's okay. 19 plus years in the field of therapeutic modalities. It's not all what that means. And I don't care how long. And look, I don't care if you've been doing it for 50 years if it don't work. And I don't care if you've been doing it for 52 years if it don't work every freaking time. Have a great show on your channel about the stuff that you think works. I welcome you to do that. I really, really do welcome you to do that. And I hope you do. Could the Bible scare someone enough to place an Ingram? Well, Lisa, after that description, what do you think? What do you think? Is an Ingram mind control? Well, yeah, it is. Because MK Ultra was created in the same hospital that L. Ron Hubbard created Dianetics in by taking Hubbard's data and back engineering it to do the opposite of what it does. So yes, mind control can create Ingrams. That's what Christianity is. That's what prophecy is. That's what it's designed to do. It's made that way on purpose. Can these be passed genetically? No, they can't. But now, not genetically, but if when a woman is pregnant and she keeps saying, "I hope this baby isn't just as stupid as I am," what's the baby here? I'm just as stupid as she is. That's not genetically. No, Ingrams are through experience, moments of unconsciousness, and the physical and all the sensations that happen during them. Good stuff. Good stuff. I've experienced many, Christina. Now you know what to do. Now you know what to do. Unk has seen this happen himself. Conception and womb time are very, I've talked to many people, Tracy, worked with many people in Create Yourself therapy that remember things said during the sexual intercourse that created them during the literal conception, of course, just after the conception. And some people remember and carry Ingrams from their past life. Now, is that genetic? But it's your own genes. So I guess it could be genetic, but it's your own genes. Boy, that's interesting. That is interesting. Powerful stuff. It's hard hearing it from the people that are supposed to love you the most. That's when it's the most powerful. That's when it's the most powerful. So essentially, you need to trace it back to the beginning. That's what Dianetic therapy does. Whether you do it self-applied, which you can, or you get somebody to help you with it, the whole goal is basic. You got to find the very first Ingram. And once you find it and discharge it, it'll break every other single Ingram in the chain. Gone. Bum. Oh, I'm free. I'm clear. I'm clear. Clear. Boom. Exactly. All right. And there again, Stormy. I'm so stupid. I keep choosing the same kind of man. Stormy, work with me, girl. How can I stop choosing the same kind of man? Ooh. How can I stop choosing the same kind of man? Or even better, how can I choose men that are, I don't want to say good for me, because it's really not the men that's good for you. How can I choose men that will compliment me in a positive way? You can write your own. And it is sort of, I see where you're going, Gary, self-hypnotherapy. It's not really hypno, but it is. It's self-affirmation therapy. But I know exactly what you're saying. You're right. Let's see. Stormy, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. I don't want to make you feel bad, but we're going through this, right? This is the book that has the information in it. That's how far we're in. And that's how far we got left to go. And then there's another book that's at least 3 times as thick as this one. It takes a minute. Well, Jeff, I thought you've done this before. I've done this before, and here we go. Probably deeper than I need to be, but you deserve to know. I've done this before, but I did it with corrupted documentation, corrupted data, because I was using books that were post-1972, produced by the lying, cheating, stealing, horrible Church of Scientology. And those books contain corrupted data, which really has you practicing black Scientology. It doesn't work, and worse than not working, it creates aberration. So now I have to go back with the pre-1972 data that's uncorrupted and make sure and identify the bad data I had and replace it with the good data. Make sure I'm not using any black or gray Dianetics. I don't think I ever was in black, but I was in gray Dianetics. Never hurting nobody, but maybe not helping as much as I could. And now get it all to white Dianetics, if that makes any sense. And if it doesn't, that's all right. Doesn't Christianity tell us to have compassion for our enemies, which are our abusers? That's a perfect reason why Christianity is stupid. I'm not supposed to. That shows you what Christianity really is. Why would Christianity tell you to have compassion for your enemies? Because it wants you to have a pro-survival Ingram in attachment to your enemy, your abuser. Because Christianity is trying to keep you as aberrated as they can so they can continue to control you. Great point, Tunnel. Great point. Great point. Grandmaster Sexy says his Ingrams feel afraid. Well, good. I'm doing my job. You know the thing. Third Eye Jedi with a classic Biden-ism. I love trolls. I really do, because it means I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, these poor kids are just as smart as white kids. Well, what about poor white kids? Or what about smart non-white kids? Dummy. I saw one the other day. He's talking to, they make up this fake story about President Trump talking bad about the service members, which never happens. And Joe Biden saying, I'll tell you, I was a guy that what I do, oh yeah, I did the thing. I nominated your CO for the Academy. And then he says, you're supposed to clap at that, you stupid bastards. You won't see that on CNN. It's on my Twitter, though. You're so dirty, you two. Jeff changed my life. Amazing teacher. Mr. MGTOW Milk Apples, thank you, but I must say no, that's not true. I might have provided some information, but you changed your life. You changed your life. Melissa says, I've been listening to your channel for 3 years now. Thanks for being you. Thank you, Melissa. I'm trying to be a better me. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm trying to be a better me. Christianity is about stealing souls. 100%. Mr. Men going their own way. Milk apples. Not sure the connection there, but okay. A little buckwheat reference. What else we got here? I saw some stuff and then it jumped on me. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to find it. Yeah, well, you can't change your behavior. You got to change to what creates the behavior. That's a prescription for self-loathing. You're welcome, Karen. Thank you, Eliza. You're welcome. Thank you, Stormy. You're welcome. No wonder people are triggered all the time. Exactly, Joe. Again, Get Dagger. I've had one bad thing after another, including accidents. Contra, survival, verbiage. Bad question. Bad Dagger. Bad. How do I stop having one bad thing after another? How do I stop having so many accidents? Boom. How do I find a mutually beneficial relationship? There you go, Tracy. There you go. There you go. Christianity is communism. 110. 110. All righty, ladies and gentlemen. Buckwheat lives matter. I love it. I'll say that one. Well, folks, we appreciate you being here. Pre 1972 Dianetics is the book I'm referencing, and if it's not in here, I'll make sure I get it in here, and it's on the playlist. It shows you the URLs where you can get the books in PDF format, which is good. But you can also, there's also a bookstore that I list, and I don't get any money for it, where you can get the books. Whoops, sorry, Rooney. And paperback form, and that's where I got them. So we appreciate you very much. Appreciate our great moderators. Appreciate Cynthia very, very much. Obviously, this doesn't happen unless she's around. And we appreciate the new Cosmic Kit and Rooney. One more appearance for Rooney. Encore for Rooney. Oh, come here. An encore for Rooney. Rooney, do you have anything to say? Nope, he has nothing to say. We're the last generation of real humans. We're the last generation of real Americans. November 3rd, vote. Give us 4 more years to turn this thing around. Through rain, snow, sleet, dark night, trolls. I am your mailman. I will continue to keep my appointed rounds. Ask questions, question answers, and unindoctrinate yourself.